Hidden in everyday meals is a quiet power that most people never notice, a power that can change how the body stores fat, how hunger shows up, and how fast cravings disappear. Right now, millions are turning to expensive injections to control weight. Yet the real surprise is that similar effects already exist on the plate, working slowly, naturally, and without anyone talking about them. This video reveals how certain foods can influence the same fat-burning pathways that made Ozempic famous, not through shortcuts or chemicals, but through natural signals inside the body that control appetite and digestion. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how these foods reduce hunger, slow digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and help the body burn stored fat more efficiently, all while fitting easily into normal daily meals. What makes this even more powerful is that most people eat around these foods every day without realizing what they can do, while others avoid them because no one ever explained their real effect. The truth is, Ozempic works by increasing a hormone that tells the brain you are full, slows how fast food leaves the stomach, and keeps blood sugar steady. And science now shows that certain foods quietly activate similar signals, just in a natural way that builds over time. This is not about quick fixes or hype, but about understanding how the body actually works and using that knowledge to your advantage. In this video, you will learn which 5 foods stand out, why they work, and how they influence fat loss in ways most people never hear about, including lesser-known effects on gut hormones, cravings, and long-term metabolism. Each food has a specific role, and when combined with simple habits, the results can feel dramatic, especially for those who struggle with constant hunger or stubborn fat that refuses to move. Watching until the end matters because the final points connect everything together and explain how small changes can create lasting results without extreme diets or discomfort. Many people start strong but fail because they never understand the science behind hunger, fullness, and blood sugar. And this video fills that gap in a clear and simple way. The information shared here can help you make smarter food choices, avoid common mistakes, and see food as a tool rather than an enemy. Some of these facts are rarely discussed, even though they are backed by real research and observed results. Once you understand them, it becomes easier to see why some people lose weight effortlessly while others struggle despite trying everything. This is knowledge that puts control back in your hands without fear, pressure, or unrealistic promises. Stay with us because each minute adds a new layer that makes the full picture clearer and more powerful. Welcome to our channel where we break down complex health topics into simple truths that actually help. If you value clear explanations, real science, and practical ideas you can use right away, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community, because what you learn here could completely change how you see food and fat loss from this moment on. Avocados stand out as one of the most misunderstood foods when it comes to fat loss, mostly because they contain fat and many people still believe fat automatically leads to weight gain. Yet the opposite often happens when avocados are eaten correctly and consistently. This fruit is dense with nutrients, rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, and loaded with soluble fiber, a combination that sends powerful signals to the digestive system. Once eaten, avocado slows the movement of food through the stomach, which means digestion takes longer and the feeling of fullness lasts much longer than usual. This delay is important because it reduces the sudden rise and fall of blood sugar that normally triggers hunger soon after a meal. When blood sugar stays steady, cravings quiet down, especially the urge for sugar and refined carbs. Inside the body, this slow digestion also supports the release of hormones linked to satiety, including the same appetite-regulating pathways influenced by GLP-1, the hormone that Ozempic is designed to enhance. The difference is that avocados work gently and naturally, without forcing the body into an artificial state. People who include avocados regularly often notice that they snack less, eat smaller portions without trying, and feel calmer around food. Another lesser-known effect is how avocados improve insulin sensitivity, which helps the body use glucose more efficiently instead of storing it as fat. This makes fat burning easier over time, especially around the belly area, where insulin resistance often shows up first. Adding avocado to meals is simple, yet powerful, because it works quietly in the background, shaping appetite and metabolism without dramatic effort. Sliced into salads, blended into smoothies, or paired with eggs or vegetables, avocado turns an ordinary meal into one that keeps hunger away for hours, which is exactly the environment the body needs to release stored fat instead of holding onto it. Chia seeds may look small and insignificant, but once they enter the body, their impact becomes surprisingly strong. These tiny seeds are packed with fiber, plant-based protein, and healthy fats, all compressed into a very small serving. When chia seeds come into contact with liquid, they absorb many times their weight and form a thick, gel-like texture. Inside the stomach, this gel expands and creates volume, which sends immediate fullness signals to the brain. Digestion slows down, not in an uncomfortable way, but in a steady and controlled manner that prevents sharp hunger spikes. This is one of the reasons chia seeds are so effective at reducing hunger between meals. Instead of energy rising quickly and crashing soon after, the body receives a slow and even release of nutrients. Blood sugar stays balanced, which protects against sudden cravings and fatigue. The fiber in chia seeds also feeds beneficial gut bacteria, and this matters more than most people realize because gut health plays a direct role in appetite regulation and fat storage. When the gut is supported, hunger hormones become more balanced and the body becomes better at recognizing when it has eaten enough. This effect closely mirrors the appetite control people seek from weight loss drugs, yet it comes from a simple natural source. Chia seeds fit easily into daily routines because they do not require cooking or special preparation. Mixed into yogurt, blended into smoothies, or stirred into oatmeal, they quietly strengthen the body's ability to stay full and satisfied for longer periods. Over time, this reduces overall calorie intake without the feeling of restriction, which is one of the key reasons sustainable fat loss becomes possible. Oats have been part of traditional diets for generations, yet their role in fat loss has often been overlooked or misunderstood. As a whole grain, oats are especially rich in a type of soluble fiber known as beta-glucan. This fiber behaves in a unique way inside the digestive system by forming a thick, gel-like substance once it absorbs water. This gel slows digestion and creates a steady flow of energy instead of rapid spikes. When digestion slows, hunger hormones stay quiet longer, and the brain receives consistent signals of fullness. This makes it easier to stop eating naturally without relying on willpower. Another critical effect of oats is their ability to stabilize blood sugar. When blood sugar remains stable, insulin levels stay balanced, and the body is more likely to burn fat rather than store it. This is one of the main mechanisms behind the success of medications that target appetite and metabolism, yet oats support this process through food alone. The fiber in oats also supports gut health, which plays a deeper role in metabolism than most people expect. A healthy gut improves nutrient absorption and hormone balance, both of which influence body weight over time. Eating oats in forms like overnight oats, warm oatmeal, or paired with fruit allows the fiber to work fully, especially when combined with protein or healthy fats. This combination creates meals that feel satisfying, comforting, and filling, without the crash that follows refined carbohydrates. Over time, oats help retrain the body to expect steady energy instead of quick highs, making fat loss feel calmer and more controlled. Berries add a different kind of power to fat loss, not through heaviness or richness, but through precision and balance. These fruits are naturally low in calories yet high in fiber and antioxidants, making them ideal for supporting metabolism without overloading the body. The fiber in berries slows the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, preventing the rapid spikes that often lead to hunger shortly after eating. This gentle release of sugar supports stable energy levels and reduces the urge to reach for snacks. Berries also help control blood sugar, which is crucial for fat burning because frequent spikes encourage the body to store fat instead of releasing it. Beyond fiber, berries are rich in antioxidants that support metabolic health at a deeper level. These compounds help reduce inflammation, which is often linked to stubborn weight gain and difficulty losing fat. Lower inflammation allows the body to respond better to hunger and fullness signals, making appetite easier to manage. Berries also support the health of blood vessels and improve insulin sensitivity, both of which play indirect roles in how efficiently the body uses energy. Adding berries to meals is simple and flexible, whether mixed into yogurt, sprinkled over cereal, or blended into smoothies. Their natural sweetness satisfies cravings without overwhelming the system, which helps break the cycle of sugar dependence. Over time, berries train the palate to enjoy lighter sweetness, making processed foods less appealing. This shift supports long-term fat loss by changing not just what the body does, but what it wants. Each of these foods works in its own way, yet they share a common effect that makes them powerful together. They slow digestion, extend fullness, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce the constant noise of hunger that leads to overeating. Instead of forcing the body into change, they support natural systems that already exist. When these foods become part of regular meals, the body gradually moves into a state where fat loss feels less like a struggle and more like a natural outcome of balanced eating. Legumes carry a quiet strength that often gets ignored in modern eating, even though they have been part of human diets for thousands of years and supported strong, lean bodies long before weight loss drugs ever existed. Beans, lentils, and chickpeas are packed with a rare balance of fiber and protein, and this balance is what makes them so powerful for appetite control and fat loss. Protein raises the amount of energy the body uses to digest food, which means metabolism increases naturally after a meal that includes legumes. At the same time, the fiber in legumes absorbs water and swells inside the digestive system, slowing how fast food moves through the stomach and intestines. This creates a deep and lasting feeling of fullness that does not fade quickly. Hunger signals stay quiet for hours, not minutes, which reduces the desire to snack or overeat later in the day. This effect becomes even stronger because protein and fiber work together rather than separately, creating a steady release of energy instead of sudden highs and lows. Blood sugar rises slowly and evenly, which protects against crashes that normally trigger cravings for sweets or processed foods. Over time, this steady pattern trains the body to feel safe and satisfied, making it easier to tap into stored fat for fuel. Legumes also support gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria, and this matters because the gut plays a major role in regulating hunger hormones and inflammation. When the gut is balanced, appetite becomes easier to manage without constant effort. Adding legumes to soups, salads, or grain bowls may seem simple, but these small choices create meals that keep hunger under control in a way that feels natural and sustainable. People who eat legumes regularly often notice that meals feel more complete, portions naturally become smaller, and the urge to eat out of boredom slowly fades. Behind all of these food effects is a simple biological system that explains why they work in a way that feels similar to Ozempic. Ozempic is designed to activate a hormone called GLP-1, which sends signals to the brain that the body is full, slows digestion, and helps regulate blood sugar. When digestion slows and blood sugar remains stable, the brain reduces hunger and the body becomes more willing to burn stored fat. While food does not act like medicine, certain foods naturally support the same pathways by encouraging the body to release its own fullness signals. Fiber-rich and protein-rich foods take longer to digest, which keeps GLP-1 active for longer periods. This is why meals built around whole foods feel satisfying without leaving a heavy or uncomfortable feeling. Stabilized blood sugar prevents insulin spikes, and lower insulin levels allow fat cells to release stored energy instead of locking it away. Metabolism also benefits because the body is not constantly switching between hunger and overload. Instead, it stays in a calm, balanced state where energy use becomes more efficient. This balance is where fat loss becomes possible without extreme restriction. Hunger no longer controls decisions, and food choices become clearer and more intentional. These foods work with the body instead of against it, supporting natural signals that already exist rather than forcing change from the outside. Small habits strengthen these effects and make them even more reliable over time. Eating legumes alongside vegetables and other protein sources creates meals that cover all major nutrient needs while keeping digestion slow and steady. Drinking enough water allows fiber to do its job properly, preventing discomfort and improving fullness signals. Reducing high sugar and heavily processed foods removes the triggers that cause blood sugar spikes and sudden hunger, allowing the body to respond more clearly to natural signals of satisfaction. Simple swaps, such as replacing refined grains with lentils or adding beans to a meal instead of processed sides, quietly shift the body into a more balanced state. These changes may feel minor at first, but repeated daily, they reshape appetite, energy levels, and fat storage patterns. Over time, the body adapts to this rhythm, and what once felt like effort begins to feel normal. Hunger becomes predictable instead of urgent. Cravings lose their power, and fat loss becomes a steady process rather than a constant battle. Everything shared in this video comes back to one simple truth. Food has power when you understand how to use it. Avocados, chia seeds, oats, berries, and legumes are not trends or shortcuts, yet together they support the body in the exact ways fat loss requires. They slow digestion, control hunger, stabilize blood sugar, and help the body release stored fat naturally. These foods work quietly in the background, shaping appetite and energy without force or struggle. The real shift happens when food stops feeling like a problem and starts becoming a solution. There is no need for a magic pill or extreme rules, because the body already knows how to regulate itself when it receives the right signals. Small, consistent choices create the biggest change, and even adding just one of these foods can move everything in the right direction. Now, the question is simple and personal. Which food will you add first today? Let us know in the comments. If this video helped you see fat loss in a new way, support the channel by liking the video, sharing it with someone who needs it, and subscribing so you never miss content that helps you eat smarter and live healthier.